what's up? I'm Zoe. Welcome to the vlog. I'm kind of confused as to what this video is going to end up being. Me just not being able to make up my own damn mind. I'm going to have this be a 24-hour readathon. I do those all the time. Of course I want to do one. I haven't done a 24-hour readathon since literally the first video that I did for this channel. You can go back and look. Actually, I suggest you do watch it. It's a pretty good video. I just haven't had the time or energy to like dedicate to a 24-hour readathon, and I was like, I should try and do more of those this year. So I did start. I had a little bit of an audiobook left, and so there you go. We have 21 hours left. You know what? I could do a 24-hour readathon any kind of way I want, because who says a 24-hour readathon has to be like consecutive 24 hours? As long as it's 24 hours all put together that I was actually reading, I can do this. And this was actually like 3 or 4 days ago. If you know, you know. Like the first week of spring. Doesn't really feel like spring. It's still pretty cold. Like I was sitting here saying, oh, I'm in a reading slump, I'm in a reading slump. But then I was like, no. I have just actively not been choosing to read. I just don't want to read. That's different. Me not wanting to read gives me the power, me the choice. But like I feel like a reading slump is like when you actively want to read. You like have so many books you actively are like, I really want to read this right now. Whenever I'm in a really reading slump, I feel guilty. I feel like it's my fault, but it's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to read today. There's nothing wrong with that. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. The first book that I really want to read is You'll Be the Death of Me. I feel like this has just been calling my name, and I need to read it. Do I know what this is about? Absolutely not. I think someone was ditching class and like got killed. I don't know. I also have an arc that I'm reading. It is called, it's called My Mechanical Romance. I think it's about 2 kids in like robotics or something. Book that I really just want to kind of figure out, am I reading this or am I dropping it? It's called A Twisted Love. Twisted. You see it, it's right there. Twisted Love. I feel like they mention it every single time I turn around on BookTok. I think I'm gonna DNF it, but I kind of just want to see. But so far, there's nothing really about the story that's like calling out to me, and I really don't like the male lead. He's kind of like obsessed in like a way that I don't like. I hate when it goes past a certain point and I'm like, ugh. Really would love if I could get to the last Sweat and Soap book, because I'm pretty sure I read all of them up until the last issue. So the audiobook that I was reading was, oh my goodness, what was I reading? It's by Lisa Foley. I know that. The Hunting Party. I hated it. I literally had 0 interest in it. I have no idea what happened. I gave it 1 star. Felt like I was reading One by One by Ruth Ware, and also the other Lucy Foley book that I read by her. I can never remember the title of it. I know it's the same author, but it just felt like the same book, and I was just like, wait, what is going on here? It was just too soon, too similar. I've been doing pretty good with my reading this month. I read A Winter's Promise at the beginning of the month. I started it in February and then I finished it. And then we have The Midnight Library, which was an audiobook. It was okay. It was a self-help book with plot. And then I read Milk and Honey, which is like that iconic poetry book. I don't know, I just saw it and I was like, okay, poetry, let's see what this is about. I don't read a lot of poetry, so it was just kind of like me wanting to branch out a little bit, but it was not. I mean, I think some of the poems had lines in it that I was like, oh wow, that's like a really good line. But overall, as a whole book, would I buy it? No. Would I recommend it? Probably not. It is the next day. I did start My Mechanical Romance last night. I started it, but then I kind of fell asleep. Katie Coulson on booktube. She was having reading sprints, and so I tuned in for that, and so I got some reading done. I know you're shocked, but I did get some reading in on You'll Be the Death of Me. I got to chapter 7, which pretty much is just like the whole main setup of what the summary was, and I was right. It's about these kids. They used to be friends. One day they decide to skip school, and they see someone get killed. So that did happen, and I was right. Other than that, I have been sitting here watching Criminal Minds. I guess we're not gonna do the 24-hour thing. I think I'll do a 24-hour readathon maybe next week. I do need to watch Bridgerton because I don't want to be spoiled on it. I know I'll get spoiled. It's Friday, the well, you can't see it anyway, but it says Friday the 25th. I remember when I said that I wanted to read Sweat and Soap because I thought I only had 1 volume that I needed to read, which was the last one. Yeah, no. I left off on volume 6 and there are like 11. So I have been reading those volumes for the past like few days, And that's just what I've been doing, reading those mangas. Oh, also, before we start Bridgerton, I did read this book. I did read it. I listened to the audiobook. I hated it. It was literally the most boring thing. I feel like something's wrong with that because everyone seems to love that one. I don't even remember anything from it. That's how bored I was. Kind of interesting at one point, but then once they got together, it just felt like Snoozeville. I also really love Simone Ashley from Sex Education. You know, remember, I binge watched it. If you watched my favorite couples video, I binge watched the show and I really love her. Let's start Bridgerton. I'm sure it's gonna be the first thing I see.
Have I done something to you?
Yep, first thing I see. You wanna see?
Why is it that you dislike me so?
I hate you.
I'm a gentleman.
They put that as the preview. Girl, let me start this damn show. Should I watch the recap? Actually, yes, let's watch the recap because I did not rewatch season 1 like I planned to. I missed the Duke. I'm sorry.
Daphne Bridgerton.
That, you know that girl on TikTok who made the musical?
Are you merely an older brother?
I burn for you. You burn for me. I burn for you. I burn. Focus on me. So I finished episode 1 of Bridgerton. That was a great first episode. It covered quite a few days and I loved it. The tensions were high. We got like a full story arc started right there in the first episode. It didn't really feel like there was like a down moment. Everything felt very purposeful, though I do kind of wish that they would have kept who Mrs. Whistledown is a secret a little longer. Just to build that anticipation of who it could possibly be. It does give the person who is Mrs. Whistledown more of a storyline, more scenes. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't really care about some of these people, like some of the storylines that I know are coming in future books of who's like paired and like whose romances. Yeah, some of them I already know I'm not gonna care about them. Episode 4. So we're on episode 4.
Event.
Listen.
The hosting
Listen.
of a country visit.
The scene of the that was so good. Wait. You know, I love the backstory. The backstory that we're getting on the Bridgertons and like everything that happened like before and just seeing like why Anthony is the way that he is. Like I still think Kate is a little bit much, a little annoying, but like we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. Hi besties. Okay, so it is now like 12 a.m. and I finally finished watching Bridgerton, the whole thing. It was so good. I'm just like kind of obsessed with it. Like it was, did the books go like that? Tell me truthfully. That book was not that good. I don't remember any of that. Like I'm telling you. The tension had me sitting here screaming. Well, let me say spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Once we did get to the like wedding episode in 5 and 6, ooh, things were dragging. Things were dragging. I think that went on too long. Everyone was saying the exact same thing with different words. And so that made me think they're saying too many words to explain what we should know, you know? And I realized that kind of happened in the first season too, but I feel like that was because people weren't saying enough words. Like people weren't saying enough words to explain things, which is why there was confusion. But in this one, they were saying so many words that I was like, I don't see how there is still confusion. You see? I also really liked how they incorporated Daphne into it. I feel like it was just very natural. It would have been amazing to see Simon, even at the end. I don't even care about Penelope at this point. I know. And now after seeing everything and how it fleshed out and like what she did to Eloise and her family, like I was just like, wow, you could have came up with anything to say. You put that boy who literally, like, I don't know, that was just involving way too many people and I was just like, no, you did it for her. You did not do that for her. I love that Eloise figured it out. I like that. I'm happy that she figured it out, but I kind of wish she could have figured it out sooner, you know? Maybe a lot of things could have been avoided. I think I care about Penelope. I don't care to see her get with Colin, especially after this one. I'm just like, I think this is a grander conversation, but I actually think that like we put too much in like people being stuck in the friend zone. It just isn't clicking. It isn't clicking, and sometimes you have to accept that. And you know what? Yes, it can sometimes be like timing is everything. Like, you know, maybe that person would like you, but you know what, you can't sit here and continue to fault them for that. And I feel like a lot of times in these situations it's constantly like, oh, I feel so bad for them, they need to wake up and see. And it's like, if they're just not attracted to that person, if they're just not like into them, maybe they are just friends and you can just accept that that is just what it is, a friendship. And maybe go out and just figure out who else you like. It is what it is, and sometimes you find better things when you just move on. I think it would be fun if season 3 was like Benedict and Eloise, because I think it could work, because Benedict and Eloise have always had like a really good friendship. They're kind of like the two who go, like, you know, they go to the swing. I feel like they have like a very good kinship and like trust between each other, and I feel like it would just be very, they could balance out a whole season together. But I think that this season was just so much better than season 1. Like, I knew it from the beginning. Like, I was just captivated in everything, and like, it was just so good. Like, the full episodes felt like you were watching a movie, and like, especially towards the end, I couldn't stop. I was obsessed. Okay, I'm gonna go, and
Only lavender dreams, baby. What can I do when a million